哲学为基的，结合阴阳生活、变化之哲理。
Hello, my name's Lucia and I'm a 16th generation descendant of the Wudang Pai. The other people you saw in that montage just now are my Kung Fu family. In the Wudang Pai we do a lot of standing stake. It's believed to be the purest vessel for your Kung Fu skill. When standing stake you can concentrate exclusively on holding body and mind in a way to produce internal power until it becomes habit. Then, when you add complexity by starting to move, for instance when doing your Tai Chi form, you are free to concentrate on other aspects. But how do you hold the body so as to produce internal power? Well, last week we looked at how to relax the hips. This time we are looking at how to hold the head. Your head is 8% of your total body weight. It is the prow of your boat, the tip of your arrow, and if it's pointing in the wrong direction, you will go off course. Let's have a look at how to position the head in a basic stance first of all. For your basic Tai Chi stance, feet are shoulder width apart, pointing straight forward. Bend the knees a little bit in order to allow the hips to sit down and relax. Pull up from the top of the head and relax the shoulders, relax the chest. But where exactly is the top of the head? You can find the point that we're looking for, which is called Bai Hui, by running your fingers up over the roots of the ears here, so they meet in the middle. And then you run a finger up over the tip of your nose. Where those two lines meet is Bai Hui, which means 100 meeting points. Bai Hui is not the same as the crown of the skull. The crown is where your hair meets in a swirl at the top of the back of your head. It's about an inch or two behind Bai Hui, and if you pull up from here, you're out of alignment. As you can see, my top knot is in fact over Bai Hui. That's where we position it, and it's part of the reason the Wudang Pai have top knots. It's to help us locate Bai Hui and pull up through it at all times. How do you pull up through Bai Hui? Well, this quality is known as empty leading. I like to imagine a hollow pole coming up through Dantian, through my body, and up through the top of my head, through Bai Hui, lifting it up on the way. This is different from full leading, which looks a bit like this. So here I'm using a lot of force to pull up through Bai Hui. I can feel it in my neck and in my shoulders, they're tense, and at the end of training I will probably get a headache. So we are looking for Bai Hui, we are looking for empty leading, and if you manage to get that right, you'll find that the chin tucks under slightly. The shoulders naturally drop into position. You might feel the corners of the mouth drawn up ever so gently, and overall it feels light and agile around your head and your neck. Let's put this into our standing stake practice. We looked at how to go into standing stake in depth in episode 2. So let's add this extra information about Bai Hui into that process. For part 1, you're sitting a little, breathing in, raising the upper arms and establishing your up and down axis. For part 2, you breathe out, sitting down, relaxing the hips and the arms come up and out. For part 1, where we're establishing up and down, what you're actually doing is pulling up through Bai Hui and lining up Bai Hui on top of Hui Yin. Hui Yin is another major energy center around the perineum. If we line up these 2 points on top of each other, then it becomes like a conducting rod for your qi. For part 1, lining up Bai Hui on top of Hui Yin, And then for part 2, just trying to maintain that connection as you focus on sitting down and connecting front and back as well. Let's try it a few times. Today we're going to do a 12-minute standing stake session. So lining up by Hui and Hui Yin. So we breathe in and lift the upper arms, and then keeping that connection as you expand forwards and backwards and the arms go out. So now in this position, I'm double checking my weight in my feet. Is it evenly between the front and back of the foot, between left and right? And I'm thinking, are my shoulders relaxed? Forming a circle that goes through the heart and connects between the fingers. And I'm going to relax my hips, thinking about relaxing the hip flexor at the front and the lumbar point at the back. And I'm just double checking the position of Bai Hui, that I'm pulling up through it lightly and gently. Now let's stick with this for a while. and coming to a close. Bring the hands to over dantian, rubbing 9 circles clockwise. And 9 circles anti-clockwise. Place the hands on the lower back, 9 circles in, followed by 9 circles out. Then cover the ears with the hands and tap the back of the head 24 times. Followed by massaging the ears. Rubbing the hands together, and if you've washed your hands recently you can massage the face, otherwise just massage the area in front of the face. And one last time, generating some heat between the hands. Place them over the eyes, breathing in and out until you feel the heat from your hands entering your eyeballs. And then allow the arms to fall to the side, swinging arms, hitting dantian at the front and the corresponding point at the back. Then make the hands into firm cups, massaging up and across the arms, down the legs, and have a shake, and we're done. Congratulations on your 12-minute standing stake session. How are you feeling? If you manage to feel your head balanced above your feet, good work. If you felt your shoulders just dropping down and dropping into position, also well done. Some common mistakes that can occur. If you feel that you've got a headache or a stiff neck, then maybe you were using too much force to pull up through Bai Hui. If you've got a stiff jaw or stiff shoulders, it might be that you're pulling up through the wrong point in the head and haven't quite found where Bai Hui is. You're too far forward or too far back. In this case, you can gather your hair in a little elastic band where Bai Hui is, or if you don't have any hair there, you can always put a little spot of tiger balm on the right point to help you feel it. Did anybody feel that the head was being dragged down from the inside? This is quite normal. Sometimes you might feel that when you're pulling the head up, it pulls other bits of the body out of position with it. This is because you're bracing on the inside. So during your standing session, you can just scan the body, look for bits that are tight and holding, and release them. In general, when you found Bai Hui and you're pulling up through it in the right way, then after a while, the head can feel as if it's filling up with a light substance that lifts it up, and the neck feels soft and agile. It's a pleasant feeling. Thank you very much for standing stake with me today. Next time we'll be doing a 15-minute stand, our ultimate goal for this series, and we'll also be looking at what to do with the mind during standing stake. Before then, I recommend you practice standing stake for 12 minutes, at least 5 or 6 times. Anybody who wants any personal corrections for their standing stake is welcome to come to one of my online Tai Chi lessons. Just get in touch for details. Right, until next time, thanks for coming.